Hi, and welcome into the Danny Sancomb Show. I'm your host, Alex King, today. Finally back after a long winter break with Coach Sancomb. I'd like to welcome him into the CUTV studio. Welcome back, Coach.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Happy to be here.
And it's good to be back. We both had a nice late night at the Convocation Center, and it's good to be here. And let's talk some basketball. First thing I'd like to bring up is, we had some pretty exciting news about one of your former players. Haywood Highsmith got called up to the NBA, signed a nice two-way contract with the 76ers, made his debut, 5 minutes, 3 points, and 1 assist. How proud are you of him?
Very. His work ethic and his ability just to continue to get better, it's amazing. And he's going to move on to bigger and better things. He'll continue to get better. He'll get great coaching from the Sixers staff, and he'll take that and apply it. And just very, very happy for him, and he gets everything he deserves.
Yeah, definitely. A nice former All-American, National Player of the Year, helped Danny into an MEC championship, and has had an outstanding year in the G League with the Delaware Blue Colts. Very proud to see him doing well. So during this break, we talk a lot about recruiting, and this is, we had a lot of time off between games, so now we're back. You've been hitting the recruiting trail hard with Steve Bridgman. How's that been?
Good. We're going and evaluating a lot of guys. We signed 2 players early in the early signing period we're excited about, but we still have a lot of pieces to add, and we're just evaluating, and hopefully here in the next couple of weeks we'll make some offers and start to expand our roster and just get some holes in our program right now. We need to get a little bit better shooting. Obviously we need some size for that, but our nucleus is there, and I'm excited about the core guys that we have in our program that will be returning. And I think if we add the right pieces, we'll see a big improvement next year.
Yeah, I saw via the Cal U Hoops on your Twitter page that you signed a guy by the name of Tim Smith Jr. What can you say of him from Lakewood, Ohio?
Yeah, Tim is just very versatile. He's 6'7". He's about 200 pounds. He plays the point guard on his high school team, so he has the ability to handle the ball well. He's a good shooter, which I think in time he's going to become a great shooter. He has the ability to break people down. He also can protect the rim. He's very long and athletic, so I think that's a big piece that we're missing, and really, really looking forward to adding him into the mix.
So now we bring in the new season. It's the 2019. We hit the road early with two trips up to Edinburgh and up to Erie. We played Edinburgh, got a nice 90-66 win, career high for Brett Pegram with 34 points, 2 double-doubles from Collins and Hall, and we shot nearly 63%. And then we went over it again 3 days later, and we trailed by as many as 13 points and had a nice comeback against Gannon.
Yeah, we're playing well right now. We've won 4 out of our last 6 games. Offensively, we were about a month ago a team that really struggled to score, and our understanding of our offense, making the cuts, and execution has improved. And we played very well offensively, other than the first 10 minutes again, but both of those games, to score 72 points against Gannon doesn't sound good. They're one of the best defensive teams in the country, so I was very, very happy with that. In Edinburgh, we exploded. We shot the 3 extremely well. We moved the ball well, so we were hard to guard that particular night.
Yeah, outscored them by 14 in the second half against the Golden Knights, and another 23 points from Pegram, another 16 from Collins. What can you say about those 2 in the front court for you?
Yeah, it's just bright. Brent obviously played last year for me, and this is kind of what we expected from him, just continuing to get better. His work ethic is second to none. He really spends a lot of time in the gym. He went from a average shooter, maybe slightly below average shooter as a freshman in college, to somebody that is a good to excellent shooter right now. And it's his work ethic. And then, Zion just has the ability to break people down. Very long. He's only 6'3", but he's got a wingspan of a 6'6", 6'7" person. And he's very creative in finishing in the lane. His shooting's getting better. So those 2 guys have played very, very well for us in the backcourt, and will continue to get better. Both of them can break people down, and they can help others get good shots as well.
Yeah, those 2 wins right there on the road. First time Cal's won back-to-back road games on the road since 2015 and in conference, and also that's the first time we gotten wins there since 2014-15, so great accomplishments there. We can move into last night's game against Slippery Rock, obviously a tough opponent coming in with 6 straight wins. But we're obviously, you said, we won 4 of our last 5 heading into that game. Tough little bit of a setback, a 95-84 loss. What did you think about last night?
Yeah, they deserved to win. They played extremely well. You know, we were hoping that they didn't have a particularly good shooting night, and they had a great shooting night. And just wore us down defensively as well. We were very good offensively in the first half. We shot over 50%. They hold teams to about 41%. But in the second half, we shot 38%. We didn't execute as well, and they did a good job defending. That's what they do. They're a physical team. And they wore us down as the game went on. But, you know, having 7 guys, I'm just pleased with how our guys battled till the end. You know, the game, you know, they pulled away, but we kept fighting and scratching and bringing it down. And our guys never quit, which I'm proud of that. We just got to continue to get better with our execution. And we can have an opportunity to win against a team like that if we execute a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, talk about a hot shooting night. They shot 60% from the field, 15 three-pointers. But I guess we should look at some good notes from the game. Collins with a career-high 23 points, Williams with a season-high 19, and another solid performance of Brent Pegram with 20 points in 5 straight games for you.
Yeah, you know, it was great to see Dante, especially the first half. Dante played extremely well. I think he had 15 points in the first half, and he gives us the ability, shoots the ball well. Dante's a very good athlete, and he's, you know, he's a big part of why we've started to play better. He had a concussion and missed a lot of time, and I think is just starting to get himself where we need him to be. And then also, you know, Colin McAdams has been good for us, you know, the entire year. Had a solid game last night as well, and he just gives us the ability to put the ball on the floor and score going to the basket, but he also can make the open 3. And I think as time goes and we can get him to play his natural position, he's going to be even better. You know, we've got him playing the 5 at this point, and he's got his hands full right now being a freshman, playing 6'7", 6'8" guys, and he's about 6'5½". So yeah, he'll continue to get better for us too.
Yeah, nice performance from all the freshmen here, 4 starters in double figures. We're going to take a break here on the Danny Sancomb Show. We'll review the PSAC West standings, view our schedule moving forward, and the Saturday schedule. We'll be right back.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student-athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student-athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student-athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay.
Get in the way and disrupt the situation.
Codify an authority.
Or walk them home safely.
We can change the language around rape.
We can make campuses safer for our teammates, our friends, and our classmates.
We cannot be bystanders.
Taking action isn't always easy, but it's on us
to intervene.
Because we can. Learn more and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
As a student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level. It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, PSAC, gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact. The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experience as possible.
Action!
Welcome back to the Danny Sancomb Show. We're just talking with Coach in break about the Slippery Rock game. A big name was missing from the lineup. Jermaine Hall, a freshman, has been playing extremely good minutes, 4 double-doubles this season, and he was also second in the PSAC in defensive rebounds. Suffered an injury setback. What can you say about that?
Yeah, it stinks. You know, we were down at Gannon and late in the game, rolled his ankle and ended up breaking his ankle. So he'll miss the entire year. We should find out today whether he'll need surgery or not. And Jermaine's a big piece of what we do. He has the ability, like you mentioned, he's our best rebounder and does a really good job with that. But he's also a very good offensive player, you know, for us. And we'll miss him, obviously. We don't have a lot of depth how it is, so we'll miss him tremendously. And he's got a really bright future ahead of him, and he's going to be a big part of our program moving forward for the next 3 years.
Yeah, you talk about, you know, it hurts your depth there. I mean, he's one of your biggest guys down there. I mean, what does that mean for Colin McAdams? You said, we talked about him earlier, stepping up down there. He has to probably get a lot more boards.
Yeah, and we need everybody to step up. You know, we really do. We need, you know, Zion Collins to be a better rebounder. We need Brent Pegram to be a better rebounder. Jordan Gessner's going to play more minutes. We need him to rebound. You know, I don't think we can put that on one person to, you know, get the 8 rebounds that Jermaine was getting, but we need a collective group to, you know, get maybe 1 or 2 more rebounds than they were getting to get back to where we were. So it'll be tough, but I think as time goes, you know, when guys are away, other guys need to step up, and hopefully guys that get an opportunity to get out there and play, take advantage of it.
Yeah, you just mentioned junior Jordan Gessner making his first start of the season, obviously in place of Jermaine. How'd you feel he performed?
Good. You know, we need more from Jordan now. You know, he played, I think, 27 minutes yesterday and didn't attempt a field goal. So he's got to shake himself and get open and get in the flow of the game. And he's a very good defensive player, and we need a little bit more out of him. I think as his minutes continue to go up, he'll start to get a little bit more aggressive. He played great on our road trip. He scored the ball against Edinburgh. He played very solid against Gannon, and we need that performance from him now, more now than ever, to be honest with you, just because instead of playing 22, 23 minutes, he's going to be up to that 27 to 32-minute mark night in and night out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's one of the few returning players from this team, very solid defensive player, so he's been playing well this year. We'll take a look at in here at the West standings to get an update of where we sit right now, as Cal currently sits 5th right now. We're 5-8 this season, 3-4 in the standings. But as you can see at the top there, we have IUP 14-0 undefeated still. Got a little bit of a scare at Mercyhurst the other day, yesterday, with trailing by 7 points in the first half, and then obviously Slippery Rock, our opponent, 6-1. But it's pretty close there with the rest of the teams. You know, a lot of these teams are also battling injuries or under new head coaches. So where do you think you are right now? How do you feel?
You know, I always want to be better. This year's been a little bit of adjustment just because, you know, we're starting over here. And there's a great core here. I've just been pretty fortunate the last 5 or 6 years just to really have 3 or 4 new guys come in and teach to that. And this year, you know, we're teaching to an entire team, so that's new. But I like where we're at. I think we're playing good basketball right now. I'm hoping that we continue to, you know, improve. You know, the top 6 teams make it to the tournament. Our goal is to make it to the conference tournament this year, and we got to fight and scratch every single night. We're not going to be just good enough to go out there and think we're going to roll over anybody. We're going to have to execute and play hard every single night to have an opportunity to win. The good thing is if we do that, we will have an opportunity to win every game we play in. So that's kind of what we're looking for. You know, I think when you look at the top of the conference on our side, IUP is outstanding. They're 3rd in the country. I've had the opportunity to be able to watch them a little bit this year. They've got a good mix of teams. Obviously, we saw Slippery Rock last night, very talented team, and I think putting it together at this point in time. Mercyhurst, very good defensively and very good offensively. They're going to be a tough team, and I think Pitt Johnstown falls right in there. Right after them, they have the ability to score, a well-coached team. So we're right below those teams, so hopefully we can move up and win some games on the road again and beat some of those teams that are ahead of us. And then obviously we got to work hard to beat the teams that are behind us so they can't catch us as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think one of the biggest upsets of last night was Gannon snapping the losing streak. They got a nice win over Pitt Johnstown. Keeps Cal in the conversation between that 3 to 5 to 6 range. Keeps them right in the conversation. We can look forward to our schedule moving forward here. As we can see, we're hitting the road once again, traveling out to a nice 3-hour trip out to Lock Haven, then followed by Pitt Johnstown. Then luckily enough, we return home for the next 3 or 4 games. So how's it feel to be hitting that last kind of big road trip of the year?
Yeah, and I think going on the road is a good thing for us. We get to stay at Lock Haven because of the distance, good team chemistry, bonding at that point in time. And it got to be tough on the road. One thing that doesn't change from conference to conference is it's hard to win on the road, and your execution and your preparation, you have to be ready, for that. But we're going to get ready today and tomorrow, and hopefully go up to Lock Haven and play well and get a win. And then after Lock Haven, we'll worry about Pitt Johnstown and the following week. So it'll be nice to get back home, though, and have 3 out of 4 at home. But we got to, finish this road trip and do well and get some wins here.
Yeah, let's look into that next opponent, Lock Haven. We're facing them on Saturday here. They're 5-6 currently, 4-4 in conference. They're sitting 5th in the East. We're sitting 5th in the West, so it's kind of mirroring each other right now. Obviously, they had a huge star last year in Amir Hinton. He's no longer there. Currently leading the Division II in points at 32.2 a game. But let's look at who's there right now. Seems like a very balanced offense when you look at them. You have their leading scorer, Christian Kelly, a junior, with 18.5 a game, followed by 2 other players that are averaging double digits a game, kind of like what you see from us. So what have you seen so far? I mean,
yeah, they got balance, and I think all teams are looking for balance. They have the ability to make open shots, and they have the ability to get in the lane, and they rebound the ball pretty well. So we're going to have to make them take contested shots, and we're going to have to rebound the basketball. Hopefully we can get out into some transition against them and get some easy baskets. And then offensively in a half court, we need to execute. We need to cut hard, screen hard, make them work, get some ball reversal, and then look to attack. And if we're able to do that, we should have some success.
Yeah, sounds good. I mean, we're definitely looking forward to see what this team can bring forward. I like to look into the schedule for this weekend because there's a lot of exciting games going on in the West. Probably the biggest game, IUP at Slippery Rock. What do you think about that game?
Yeah, that'd be a good game. I think both teams are big, strong. Obviously, IUP being 3rd in the country, but I think if Slippery Rock goes up there and plays, they'll have an opportunity to win that game. IUP is going to have to play well to win that game.
Yeah, I mean, we look at the rest of the schedule here. Edinburgh at Pitt Johnstown, Gannon at Seton Hill. You see any games out there that, that intrigue you, that you were pretty interested in?
No, I think the Slippery Rock, like you mentioned, IUP is a big game. I just got to worry about Lock Haven. I can't get into who else is playing. I'll look at the scores after our game and see and follow it very closely. But, it's a dogfight. Our league is very competitive this year. I think there's a lot of balance at our league after you get outside, the top teams. I think, IUP and Slippery Rock and Mercyhurst on our side are a little bit further along than the other teams. But I think, when you start looking at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, there's a lot of balance, and each team is capable of beating the other team.
How do you feel your team's been now, as we're heading over to Lock Haven, how do you feel your team, felt after last night, and how you feel they're got a rebound?
Yeah, disappointed. When I walked in the locker room, I think our coaching staff was disappointed. But as a coach, it's good to look into the locker room, into your team's eyes, and understand they're disappointed as well. And I've had so much fun coaching this group this year. This has been a challenging year. We played a few games with 6 guys. We have 7 guys currently, and I've never been, in this position. But as a coach, at least my philosophy is I want the best out of each and every player. And I really, truly believe thus far the guys are giving me everything that they have. And I can live with that. And that makes it fun to come to work, to coach. And I think people that have followed us have seen our team improve dramatically, since the beginning of the season. And that's a credit to our guys, night in and night out, not only during the games, what you see, but in practice, And we've had to be creative in practice just because the number situation has been difficult. But they've given me the best, so I've really enjoyed coaching them. And I think at the end of the day, as a coach, if you're getting the best out of your guys, you're happy with that. I'm not happy with the record, and we'll improve on that. And like I said, we've won 4 out of 6. We're moving in the right direction. But we just have to continue to understand that there's a process here. And the core is great. We're not losing anybody next year. And we're getting valuable experience with our young guys. And if we can add the right pieces next year, we're going to have the ability to be a really good basketball team.
Yeah, we talk about, you just talked about practice here. We talked as we walked over here. We're in the full stretch of everything now, 2 games a week. It's quite a grind between traveling and playing these long games, and like you said, a limited roster. what are you doing in practice now to make guys, keep them focused, but saving, some energy there?
Yeah, it's been different from this year. We've played we've played all zone this year, and that's not me. We're usually a man team, but we've had to adapt to that just because foul trouble. And I think zone, you're a little bit less likely to foul, so that's why we've done that. But in practice, we've been creative. Sometimes instead of doing 5-on-5 stuff, we've got to do some 4-on-4 stuff or 3-on-3 stuff, to get that. And just trying to save some of their legs. Obviously, today we need to be smart in practice, and it'll be a lighter practice today than it will be tomorrow. But we're going to practice hard, and we will practice hard. But instead of going for 2 hours, we'll go for an hour and 15 minutes, and then get 15 minutes of shooting at the end of practice to go for an hour and a half. So we've just had to be smart with that and really talk to my guys to get a feel where they're at physically, because we still have a lot of season to go, and with 7 guys to play, you got to make sure they're healthy and fresh is the most important thing.
Yeah, where do you feel your leadership's been coming from lately from that group? I mean, obviously you talk about Brent. He's definitely been the star on the court. You think he's doing a very good job leading this team as well?
Yeah, he's our leader. I'm on him about that a lot. I have a lot of conversations with him about that. Bringing him here, he understood that he was going to be a leader. If we were, back at Wheeling, he was going to be the leader of that team, and he has that in him. But other guys have, stepped up. I saw some leadership out of Zion Collins is starting to come. Jermaine Hall has good leadership skills. Colin McAdams, Jordan Gessner's done a good job being somebody that played for us last year. A little bit quiet guy, but really leads, by example. So they're all starting to take some responsibility for that, and most importantly, they're starting to take some ownership of the program. And that's what I want. It's their program. I'm a part of it as well, but it's their program, and we want them to understand it's their program, and we can make it whatever type of program we want to make. If we want to be a great program, win basketball games, we can control that. And I think that's the direction that they're moving in, and it's exciting. We're going to get some more wins this year, but we just have to make sure we stay the course and continue to get better each week. That's the most important thing that we're talking about. Today, we're about a third through January. Hopefully we're a different team each and every day, and when you start to look into February, we're even better than we are now, and I think we can continue to get better as the year goes on.
Yeah, definitely, Coach. So, like I said, we're moving on to Lock Haven, get past this setback with Slippery Rock, and we're going to move forward with Lock Haven on Saturday. And good luck to you, Coach. Thank you for joining me today.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.